So in my world, even though I'm a big fan of low carb and ketogenic diets, I generally recommend people use it initially as a reset and then do a little bit of experimentation. The extreme perspectives always seem to take central role, so people notice that if they shifted from eating 600 grams of carbs a day to 100 grams of carbs a day, they feel a ton better. They have more stable energy levels. So then they assume, wow, maybe if I go from 100 grams of carbs a day to 10 grams of carbs a day, I'm going to feel even better. Occasionally that's the case. Oftentimes, though, that's not the case. And so there are kind of laws of diminishing returns and U curves in biology and stuff like that, where just because reducing carbohydrate from one level to another improved your performance and how you feel, it doesn't necessarily mean that going further with that is going to further improve things. So what I recommend that folks do is use kind of a low carb diet as a reset. In my second book, Wired to Eat, we developed a program called the 7-Day Carb Test, where we actually use a blood glucometer and we pick a battery of carbs that we would like to eat, and we test those each day in as regimented a fashion as we can, so we can really get a sense of how people respond to the carbohydrates that they're eating. And we provide some guidelines. At 2 hours, we'd like to see their blood sugar not above 115 nanograms per deciliter. If it is, then we can think about consuming those carbs post-workout. We could reduce the amount of those carbs, maybe go from 50 grams to 25 grams of those carbs, or maybe just for a given individual, that type of carbohydrate isn't really a good fit for them. So in my world, even though I'm a big fan of low carb and ketogenic diets, I generally recommend people use it initially as a reset and then do a little bit of experimentation to figure out if they can function at a higher carb level, but keep an eye on quality and try to get as much latitude and variety as they can without getting themselves in trouble from a mix of hyperpalatable foods that causes them to overeat.